This is what a 100-hour rat hole build looks like, and this is what a 10-hour build looks like. Now let's begin with our 1-hour build. Coming at our 1-hour build, this can be found at 75.4 latitude and 87.5 longitude, and then here it is on the map. Now for this first build, I wanted to kind of keep it a little bit smaller, but still kind of giving it a relatively good size, because it all changes based on the size of a tribe. So anyways, every single one of these do have tech on them, but you will see that here in a second. So anyways, this is the location. If you're not familiar with this spot, it's been featured in some of my other videos, but here it is again. So yeah, this location is overall, it's a pretty decent one, pretty good size. I mean, right next to the bed, it's overall a pretty big rat hole. I mean, you have a lot of room to work with. You can build multiple layers in here, so that's exactly what we're gonna do. So yeah, overall, not a bad location at all. Let's get on to that full base design. Alrighty, now here is the full base design. So as you can see with the exterior, I didn't want to go too crazy with it because then it's going to kind of pop out and tell everybody, hey, I'm living here. So I decided just to go ahead and put some turrets kind of on this entrance here, along with a nice little wall that's going to stop a lot of dinos from walking straight up onto that wall. It's always going to be a pain. And then right behind it, you have a pretty massive turret wall. Now, what it means by being a 1-hour build, that's basically how long that it takes to build this. So that's not including how long it takes to actually farm all of the stuff for it, but that's how long that it takes to build this. So relatively about 1-ish hours. I mean, I could do this in, but yeah, not a bad one at all. So with this giant wall, you have a nice little honeycomb entrance right there, along with a nice little raid room. So this is like a raid defense room. You got your vaults, your refrigerators, a bed, and then up here is your first crafting, it's like a crafting station room, I guess you could call it. But you got your fabricators, chem benches, all of your cookers, your grills, a little bit of vaults for a little bit of vault storage, nothing too crazy, along with an extra bed over there in the corner. Coming up to that third layer, this is another crafting room. It has 3 indie forges, 3 smithies, and then 3 more smithies that are in between them, along with a replicator over there that was fit in the corner with a vault, some deady storages, and a nice small little vault wall right there. Now I did leave a little bit of some room open so you guys can kind of mess around with some other stuff, but coming up to our 4th layer, this is your hatching area. You have your main hatchery spot, some cryo fridges, some refrigerators, and then a little bit of room to kind of raise them along with your tech jenny. And then up here is just a nice little dino storage area. And you can keep building up to, those are just the layers that I put. And now coming at our 10-hour build, this can be found at 7 latitude and 47.9 longitude. And then here it is on the map. Now this one can be found over on the lava island. And this one is actually a pretty good one. So yes, a lot of you guys are going to argue between the 1-hour and the 10-hour build. However, there's a little bit more stuff on this one, along with a bit of a better defense on the front. I'll just say that, and we'll get into that here in a second. So yeah, coming inside of here, this entrance is very weird, but super long, which is really good. There's a little bit of a glitch right here that you have to kind of get through, but once you're through there, then you're fine. And then anyways, this main area is super flat on the inside, along with a nice little stretched wall, which unfortunately, a stretched wall can mean that these spots do eventually get patched, but I don't think that this one is going to get patched anytime soon. Now you have a little water source over there, which is kind of cool. It's invisible, but there is water, so you can do a little bit of water breeding. And overall, you have a good amount of room to work with in here, so not a bad rat hole at all. Now here is the full base design. So as you can see with the exterior, this was actually a very, very tricky build. So it might look simple, but trying to get it into the right spot here, you need to make sure that this tower is placed perfectly, because people can do raft raiding or they can drop straight from the top. So I decided that the best bet was to build a skeleton tower. Skeleton towers are just super overpowered. This is kind of my own version of one. I mean, it's simple, straight to the point, and it is high enough off where raft raiding it's still possible. Don't get me wrong, raft raiding is still possible, but with it being a skeleton tower, raft raiding it is gonna make it very difficult to get in, and you'd have to build a pretty high raft. Then once you come in here, then you have another little turret wall. It's nothing too crazy, just some extra turrets just in case that main tower gets dropped. And then whenever you come in here, again, you have this little glitch here. Just watch out, there is a way past it. As you can see, I got stuck there for a second, but once you're in, then you're good. Anyways, you have a little hatch frame that leads you down into the main area. I had it placed perfectly. There's only one spot that fits for the ladders. Just make sure that you can nail that perfectly. Anyways, coming inside of here, you have a good amount of room, and it's still relatively open, even having all of your main stuff in here. So you got some vault walls, you got 2 indie forges. I was gonna put 3, but 3 kind of made it a little bit awkward. You got some deady storages, your main crafting station with your fabricators, chem benches, another vault wall, along with a bed right there. And overall, you still have a lot of room to work with in here. Then you have your replicator in here, along with a teleporter right there on the floor. Get your main Jenny in there. The Jenny doesn't really matter where it is, as long as it powers everything on the exterior. A little more of some vaults, your main cookers, some cryo fridges, some regular fridges. Then you got your air conditioners, along with a tiny little hatchery area over here. I wasn't able to really fit too much in there, but you can fit some little bit, some baby dinos possibly. And then you have your nice little water area in here. Now, this is water, it's just invisible, I don't know why, but yeah, you can do water breeding right in there. Then up here, coming up to your second layer, all that this really is just some extra dino storage. You can build this if you want to. I just added it in because a lot of people are looking for some extra dino storage just to kind of store some dinos, get some dinos raised up. So yeah, not a bad spot at all. Now coming at our 100-hour build, this can be found at 46.6 latitude and 4.8 longitude. And then here it is on the map. Now this one can be found over on the side of this giant cliff, and this cliff is just covered with rat holes. But yeah, anyways, this is a pretty overpowered spot. I mean, this might be one of the most overpowered spots on the center currently, at least as a rat hole. So anyways, coming over here, you have this tiny little entrance. The only way in is crouching, and even with crouching, it's still a pain to even get in here. Once you're in, it opens up into this first good-sized room. I wish that this rock wasn't here because it would make it even more overpowered, but unfortunately, with this rock being here, it is a little bit tricky to work with, so I'm not sure what we're going to do here yet. Then coming back in here, just kind of a bit of a mess until you get into this back room. So this back room is absolutely enormous. I mean, it goes super, super high up. You have pretty much unlimited space to work with. So we're probably going to do 5, 6, maybe even 7 layers in here probably. But yeah, overall, not a bad spot at all. And yeah, let's see what we're going to do. So let's get on to that full base design. Now here is the full base design. So as you can see with the exterior, I didn't do anything too crazy. Again, I would recommend not doing anything outside and just kind of put a couple turrets because, you know, you don't want anybody getting on your entrance and then kind of blocking you in. So honestly, I'd recommend building on the outside, but yeah, this is by far the most overpowered thing I've probably ever built. There's no getting in here. I'm just going to say that now. I mean, yeah, you can throw out some cryos, but with how I set up all of the double door frames, the cryos get stuck. They don't engage once they're thrown out, meaning this is pretty much unrateable. Now, yes, some can argue that this turret wall is a little bit too close, and yes, I can argue that too. It is a tiny bit too close, but I pushed it back as far as I possibly could, where it goes all the way down to the ground. Now, this thing is just insane. I mean, it is based off the 100 turret limit, so there are 100 turrets right here. Then I put the entrance up inside, kind of a little bit higher up to kind of make it a little bit harder just to get in. Along with that, you have some vaults and some refrigerators along with the bed. Also inside of the wall, it is vault dropped in there. I don't show it on video, but yes, it is vault dropped, meaning it's even more like overpowered. So you have a couple turrets in here. There's this kind of main room. I don't really know what to do with that room. Then you have more turrets along with your first little area in here. Now for this, I would just use this as maybe some dino storage, or really just an extra area that you can do anything that you want with it. I mean, there's nothing too crazy there, but the main layers are all the way up here. So this is your first layer right here. This is more of your hatchery. You got all your fridges, you know, your preserving bins, your cookers, your grills, some feeding troughs, air cons, all that. Got a couple turrets in here just to kind of make sure, just in case anybody does get in, which is pretty much impossible. But you got 2 layers right here for your for the dino storage. You can build more higher up, or you can use more of it down below. It's really up to you what you want to do with this space. Anyways, coming up here onto our third layer is your main crafting area and your kind of just main layer. So you have your fabricators, you know, your smithies. You even have 3 tech reps over there, along with a massive vault storage area. I believe it is 5 layers. Yep, 5 layers of vaults right there. Over here you have your transmitter along with your main tech Jenny back there. You also have some vaults, some cryos, a full Deddy storage crafting station right here. Overall, pretty good. Along with some extra turrets just to make sure, you know, just in case somebody does get in here, of course. Then coming up here is your last layer. This is your main Indie Forge layer along with your Chem Bench layer. You know, you got some Deddies. Nice little tech teleporter and all that. But yeah, overall, not terrible at all. But anyways, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy, and thanks for watching.